Hello. We are live. It is here. Oh my goodness, my hair is going crazy. Mm. We are in my office, actually. So we're doing a little differently tonight. I know the lighting is terrible in here, but no, live with it. Normally we're in the media room, but we're doing some upgrades to the media room with sound and lighting. So it is a hot mess in there right now. So even though the lighting is absolutely terrible in here, you can probably see every single year that I've been alive as well as every single month, but that's fine. It's still better than in there. There's like wires and just toolkits, and I couldn't deal with the mayhem. So we probably could have gotten through with it, but yeah, I'm gonna go with this is much cleaner and much more comfortable. So we'll hang out here. Shalom. It's nice to see you as well, smiley one. So let's see. Today, the Realtor Convention for August went live. So yeah, that was kind of crazy. So that's going to be in August. I absolutely love going to the Realtor Convention each year. It's like 3 days, but it's really great. And I'm going to be auditioning again. So I can audition for two classes to teach two different classes to realtors here in Florida. Each I don't know, it's like every 6 months or so. So I just got done picking out the classes that I'm going to audition to teach. So basically, it's kind of an audition. It's kind of, they just make sure that you actually know how to talk to people and how to be in front of people without freaking out, which I mean, you guys know I'm, I'm pretty comfortable at this point. But some people got really freaked out. What's weird is I thought public speaking was going to be the harder thing, but I found out a lot of people freak out when there's a camera pointed at them. I was at one class and the girl basically forgot her name. She was supposed to do a 2-minute introduction about herself, and she was so poised and so beautiful. And I was just like, oh, she could be a model. She's got this in the bag. She could be like in Hollywood or something. She forgot her own name. She forgot her own name. She forgot anything about herself, and she had no notes. And I was like, I mean, of the one subject that you can just kind of make it up is to talk about yourself for 2 minutes. But yeah, some people legit freak out. She was fine after that. I mean, she got the hang of it, but it was just shocking to me how quickly people just like absolutely spaz in front of a camera or in front of a crowd or something. So I was just like, wow. So yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, so it's kind of an audition. But it's mostly to make sure that you understand what you're teaching. And they can ask questions and stuff. And it's not like it's like one or two judges. It's like a whole room full of people that are like making notes about you. But last time I did pretty good. I did two courses that I, auditioned to teach, and one of the notes was that I had really nice shoes. I was like, I could do that. I just got to make sure I have nice shoes, and I got this in the bag. So it's funny. But no, I only pick classes that I already know something about, like, property management or 1031 exchanges, stuff like that. Like stuff I could probably do in my sleep. I don't know if you guys know a lot about 1031 exchanges, but I have done a short sale on a 1031 exchange, and I closed it literally, like, I could count how many hours were left in the 1031 exchange. I was eating stomach acid, but we got it done. And then recently I got to do my first reverse 1031 exchange, which was kind of exciting. I don't really like it. It's very convoluted. I much prefer a regular 1031 exchange, but I did a reverse 1031 exchange because we didn't plan on it. That's just how it ended up happening. So it was just kind of a little crazy, but we got it done. So 1031 exchanges, I got those great. The the key is to have a really good intermediary company, and we do. We use IPX. They're freaking amazing. So yeah, really good. Let's see. Someone had asked in your last video if home insurance is cheaper in Ocala since it's more inland. You can answer when you get your thoughts out. Yeah, I'm glad you're used to my rambling. Yeah, yeah, the homeowners insurance is a little bit cheaper in Marion County as opposed to like Citrus County. So my husband and I have an investment property just outside of the Marion County line. It is, I mean, you could throw a rock and hit Marion County line from the front yard, actually from the backyard, technically. So that one, the homeowner's insurance is a little bit more expensive over there, but with Citrus County, it's not as we'll say it's not as populated, it's not as affluent, we'll say, as Marion County. I know because everybody's just like, "Huff, Marion County is so inexpensive compared to the rest of Florida." Yeah, well, Citrus County is cheaper. It's cheaper. So their property taxes are a little bit less. But because Citrus County is technically on the Gulf in some portion, then if you're in a county that touches the Gulf or touches, the beach, you're going to have more expensive homeowners insurance. Now, there is no good beach anywhere in Citrus County that I know of. Now, lakes, rivers, stuff like that, yes, absolutely. But like Gulf, oh no, it is the worst beach I've ever seen. And I've been there several times because there is nothing else over there. So it's like, and anybody that's over there will tell you it's really gross. It's like this sludgy mud clay. And there's like this strip of sand that everybody considers a beach. They brought that in on a truck. There's no way that that actually belongs there. And it gets worse. It gets worse. So it's like this sludgy goop if you go walking into the water. So your feet just kind of smush into it. And then it's only like this deep for like forever and a day. So it's not like you can like splash around and play. And it's like this deep. So you have to go out, like a ways out before you can actually like swim in it. And the entire time you have this wonderful view of a nuclear power plant, which is defunct. They're not really using it anymore, but yeah, that's it's view. So it's just no. I just ew no. So I mean, yeah, you pay a little bit more, you pay a little bit less, but that's not. I mean, if you're gonna live on the beach, live on the beach, But yeah. Awesome girl. Thank you for your concern. It's understandable. It's a really gross beach. I don't know who on earth. Ugh, it's gross. Um, okay, so the question is, does Marion County have any enforcement regarding people junking up their lawns with cars and other things? And of course, he's talking about non-HOA communities, of course. They do. You can call code enforcement. I think it's enforced probably a little bit more so within the city limits, more so than in the county. But yeah, you can call code enforcement and then they'll come out and take pictures. And yeah, if it's really something that is a code violation, then yeah, they'll go ahead and fine them. If they're not taking care of their lawn, they can get fined. They have to go before a judge. I actually had to do the process once. It was not my house at all. It was actually my mom's house, and she had moved out and she rented it to somebody, and that person hadn't take care of it. It had nothing to do with me. I was not her property manager at all. But I just, came in to clean up the mess that was left basically. So, but yeah, they didn't take care of the lawn. They didn't cut the grass or anything. So she actually got a code violation against her. And at this point, she was living in Michigan. I mean, she was across the country. And so I ended up going, it was kind of like a judge, but not really a judge. It was code enforcement. And I had to go in and explain, here's what's happened, here's what we're doing about it, here's how, we can ensure that this won't happen again, and blah 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 blah. So she didn't she probably had a small fine. It wasn't too bad. but they can slap some pretty serious fines on you. I don't know if you can get jail time, but I imagine you can because I know if you let your pets run wild, you can get jail time for that. So I I don't know, but yeah, I wouldn't mess around with code enforcement. They mean business. So yeah, I'd have to say that. But technically, that was also Citrus County, not Marion County. Now that I think about it, that house was in Citrus County. It's been sold now and all of that, but yeah, that was kind of crazy. That's also why you want to have a property manager. Again, I was not the property manager. I was in the position of a daughter helping out her mom. That was not at that time I was not the property manager. So, eventually I did end up being a property manager for her just because I was gonna have to do the work anyway, so might as well have gotten paid for it. I had to keep cleaning up those messes, so I was just like, "Okay." So, yeah, it was kinda crazy, but yeah, I actually have seen the whole process, and I was very happy it had nothing to do with me personally, but yeah, they could have really I mean, you get, like, fines per day and stuff, so it's a little crazy. But again, that's only if they see it, and Marion County is massive, or if somebody turns them in. So if you get code enforcement rolling up on your property, it's probably because one of your neighbors is pretty miffed. So, I don't know, make friends with your neighbors. If you're not going to cut your grass, hopefully you'll just cut your lawn and that'll be the end of it. But some people, for whatever reason, aren't able to or whatever. So I don't know. But yeah. Yeah. Some trashy properties, yeah. Those trashy properties, when you go to purchase them, might have serious liens in the way of code enforcement. There was recently a house that was trying to be sold, and we could not sell it because it had $60,000 in liens because of a shed that they put in the backyard without a permit. So it was like getting fined like $1,000 a day or something like that. And I don't know, I guess it was like going to a different address. And I have no idea how that worked out, but he couldn't, it was a lien on the property. He could not sell it to our buyers because of that lien. He had to get that cleared up through code enforcement before it could be sold. So yeah, just because it's like junky looking doesn't mean that the city or the county isn't doing anything about it. Um, you know, sometimes they are, and it's just kind of waiting for the big whammy. So yeah, not good. You want the freedom of no HOA. Um, that's a hard one. Um, HOAs get a bad rap. They really do. I can totally understand not wanting to have an HOA and have somebody come over and tell you what you can do with your yard, but at the same time, you kind of want them to go and tell your neighbors that they can't do that with their yard. So, if you got one, you got the other. We're in an HOA. I like my HOA. We've been there for going on 7 years. And the HOA is only like $9 a month. It's like nothing. But if any of the neighbors start getting a little crazy, or even if we get out of hand, maybe we've got like family staying with us and there's like a car parked where it's not supposed to or something for too long, we'll get a letter from them with, threatening a fine. So yeah, I don't know. And the neighbors the same thing. Like everybody has to stick to the rules that they agreed with when they moved in. If it's in an HOA, it's an HOA. Doesn't matter what's going on in your life. It's what you've agreed to do to keep the neighborhood looking nice. So for me, I mean, it's not really a strict HOA at all. I think there's some strict, crazy HOAs, and those really give a bad rep to the whole thing. The whole purpose of it is homeowners have gotten together, they've made an association of themselves and said, we don't want our neighborhood looking trashy. We don't want a whole bunch of rules. but we don't want our neighborhood looking trashy because then the value of our homes is going to go down. We just don't want it. We want everybody to have a basic standard of what their house should look like. Take care of the grass, take care of the bushes, and don't park all over the yard. I mean, basics, right? Don't let your pets run all over the place. In fact, don't have 50 dogs, or 6,000 cats or whatever. Just basics. So that's all it is. That's all it is. But there is also a cost to maintaining an HOA. So it's not like it's just like, okay, there's the HOA. Well, you've got to put in the rules and regulations. You probably have to have an attorney or something write up some stuff. You have to have meetings. I mean, legally, these are requirements. And if it's a certain amount or a certain amount of doors or whatever, you probably have to hire a CAM, a community association manager by law. You have to have one. Those all cost things. So that's why you have a fee. So again, this isn't because they're trying to, make money off of you, or they're trying to, get one over on somebody, or make, a whole slew of rules or whatever. No, it's you and your neighbors got together and was like, here's what we want. Here's what we all think is what's best for all of us. Here's what we're going to do. That's how it is in my neighborhood. Everybody is just pretty much, everybody's cool with each other until they're not because one is not going by the rules. And then they're reminded, hey, you agreed to this. You got to do this or else. So, I don't know. I think HOAs are not necessarily a bad thing. I've lived with one with 7 years, and I am like, if somebody came over to measure my grass with like a ruler, I would do some pretty horrible things with that ruler. So, like, no. So it's not like that. It's not like that. I actually this morning, one of my neighbors is going to be in trouble. This morning, my daughter and I were going out to the car and we heard a rooster and we both stopped and looked at each other and we're like, uh-oh, somebody's in trouble. Because, a couple of chickens, no big deal. But if you bring a rooster in, oh, there's going to be drama. There's going to be a definite problem. So, yeah, the rooster's not going to make it for long in the HOA. But again, it's because nobody wants to hear the freaking thing crow at 3 o'clock in the morning. And that's when they start crowing. So, yeah, anyway. We want to garden chickens. I had chickens. I had 2 chickens for 4 years. And there is plenty of room for a garden. So you're probably looking at something like my HOA. It's not hardcore, but it's not, it's not non-HOA. Like Marion Oaks is for majority of it. There are sections that have HOAs, but for the majority of it, there's no HOA. It's deed restricted, so you can't have like mobile homes in there. It has to be site-built homes. There's a few deed restrictions, but there's no HOA for the grand majority of it. So it's like, in some parts, it's like Wild Wild West. They're like, whatever, whoever, you want roosters, okay, whatever, they just, whatever. But that wouldn't fly in the sections that have HOAs. So there's a brand new development in Marion Oaks called Huntington Ridge, and that's through DR Horton. Their HOA is only $25 a month. I mean, it's like nothing, but it also will maintain that neighborhood. Those houses are always going to be maintained well because they have an HOA. So that developer is ensuring that it's always going to be well maintained. I don't know. Rock in a hard place. That absolutely. I would say, oh, how many? My HOA is $9 a month. It's paid annually. So like 110, 120. I think, yeah, 120 a year. So it's not much. It's not much. It's like $9 or $10 a month when you work it out monthly. It's not anything. It's just enough to pay for, the stuff they have to pay for to maintain the HOA, have their meetings and stuff like that. I mean, it's like nothing. So not a big deal. We don't even have a sign. That bothers me. I would like a sign. If there's money in the kitty, I would like a sign because nobody can find our HOA. They're just like, there's a whole slew of houses there. but nobody knows. Nobody even knows for sure what the name of it is. So, we're like, so yeah, that is the cheapest you've seen. I mean, they're really not. There's a lot of them that are very inexpensive. All ages communities. And again, they don't do much. Okay, it's not like we have a pool and a gate and stuff we don't have any of that. All we have is an HOA that maintains the value of the houses there. And I mean, it is. It's a very nice neighborhood. I love the neighborhood. Really great location. So, I mean, for us, it works. But, you know, at the same time, if you don't necessarily like want to have a whole bunch of crazy right next door to you, you're going to have to be in an HOA. Otherwise, you're stuck with dealing with code enforcement. The most you've seen is $547. That would have to be like, oh yeah, all the amenities. Yeah, like 55 plus community or actually not just 55 plus. You can have a non 55 plus and it still be pretty expensive. But yeah, that's going to have like pools, plural, like indoor, outdoor, resort style living kind of stuff. That's not what we have. We have houses and no sign. But, we also really like the neighborhood. We are really close to the trail though. So like there's walking trails and stuff like super close. Like you can go for miles and miles and miles and miles on a really nice paved path. So I do like that. But that has nothing to do with HOA. That's just location. Yeah, three resorts. Hey, I mean, don't knock it. I keep trying to talk my husband into when we go to retire, go on a cruise ship and just basically live on the cruise ship. He's not taking me up on it. I want to though. Royal Caribbean does a world cruise that is 200, it's like 274 days out of the year. And it goes to like all the continents and all the countries and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, it's like $60,000 per person. But I mean, when you consider the traveling, you're not going to have to pay for a car or car insurance. You're not going to have to pay for your housing. You're not going to have to pay for food. You're going to have like a chef and a fitness. You won't have to have gym membership. I mean, I it's not a bad way to spend retirement, traveling all over the place. That's pretty freaking cool. But yeah, so if you can afford it, right? But I mean, really think about it. Like, if you have like grandkids or something or adult kids that you can like when you're not on the cruise ship, go and spend your time with them or go visit and, visit friends all over the place or whatever. Cool. Like, so you're either on the cruise ship, so you can literally live on $60,000 a year for your retirement. That's not bad. I mean, I don't know. Or do remote work. You just have to make sure you got the Wi-Fi package. Good grief. I still don't think it's that bad. I mean, it's like van living, but like much, much, much better. You should go. You work hard. Yeah. So, okay. So I'm not even trying to talk to my husband into that because I know full well that ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. But they have the world cruise, but like little jaunts of it. So you can get on at certain points and get off at certain points. So like you could do this part of Europe for like 19 days of the world cruise, which is not much when you consider the world cruise is like 274. But it's really not that expensive. It's actually pretty inexpensive to go and do that. And then there's one part that's the part I was going for is it actually leaves out of Miami and then it goes to like 16 different countries and that one's 22 days long and it's only $1,500. I was like 22 days for $1,500 is not bad on a Royal Caribbean. I was like, let's do it. And he's just like, that is almost a month. He's like, first off, you not working for a month, you would go insane. And I was like, I mean, I could see that. I could definitely see that. If I get bored, strange things happen. Like I open a brokerage or something. It's really, or during COVID, I started a YouTube channel. I mean, just weird stuff happens when I don't have enough going on around me. So, yeah. Put it on my bucket list. Yeah. I would say do it. See, that's what I'm saying. I mean, like, we've got passports. Let's do this. But yes, I think it's probably I'm just feeling it because my daughter, she is going to her CF orientation, her Central Florida orientation tomorrow afternoon. Um, she wants me to take orientation with her. I am not ready for this. Like our son is in college, but she's it, right? Um, so yeah, I don't know what it came too early. She's a smart cookie. She's 14. She turns 15 next week and she's doing dual enrollment. But she's got all of these colleges sending her all this, hey, you would be so happy in North Carolina. I was like, no, she wouldn't. She'd be happy in Florida. Leave her alone. So, so yeah, I am Crucero. Cruises are my specialty. Well, obviously, if you got a name like that. So yeah, she's doing great. She's really, really doing great. She is just finishing her second year of high school. So yes, we're going to be doing dual enrollment, and she is going to college and she wants to drive starting next week. So, yeah, I'm just feeling some empty nesting or something. I'm not really sure. I'm not ready for this. Like, I'm so not ready for this. It came way too soon. So, I'm kind of looking at this like I got to find some stuff to look forward to because I'm not leaving Ocala. I had the weirdest dream last night that I moved to Tennessee. Why would I move to Tennessee? I like it here. I have no idea where this came from. But yeah, I was like packed up and moved to Tennessee, me and my husband. I'm like, it was just bizarre. Like, have you ever had dreams like that where you're like, well, how is that even remotely in reality? But it was. It was very, very strange. And everybody was mad at me because I left Ocala. It's like I lived other places before here. But no, I love Ocala. We want to stay here, but definitely gotta, find some stuff because we've only got about 2 years left with kids. That's so crazy. I don't know. Everybody keeps going, oh, they'll do not want you to. I don't want to move to Tennessee. That is not in the plans at all. World cruise, maybe. Tennessee, no. I don't know where that came from. We had some friends from Tennessee that were visiting on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday, and we were playing cards and we were talking about good restaurants and we were talking about some of the restaurants in Tennessee. I don't know if that just cycled in or what, but I'm not going to live in the mountains. I'm not a mountains person. I recently went to Arizona. We went through some mountains. I thought I was going to die. Like I was so not happy on those hairpin turns and stuff. My husband was going 15 miles per hour, and I'm yelling at him to slow down that he's going too fast. Okay. It's so bad. We had a lineup of cars behind us. I did not care. You probably could have gotten out of the car and walked faster than we were going. I didn't care. I was terrified. Okay. It was not a pleasant experience. I was not a happy camper. I don't want to live in the mountains. I wouldn't make it. I wouldn't make it. I was like, why do they not have guardrails everywhere? Everywhere should have guardrails. That is a cliff. I'm looking at, and I kept leaning over. Like I couldn't even help it. I was leaning over to him as if that's going to help in any way, shape, or form. Stay away from the cliff on my side of the car. Like so bad. It was so bad. My husband's like, did you get like video? I took video for all of 30 seconds and most of it, I was like, we're going to die. I'm going to die. I want to go home. So bad. So I was just shaking when I got out of there. I was like, never again, not doing that one again, ever. Cause yeah, we had gotten off the highway and we were going to, Sedona. And if you go from Sedona to the Grand Canyon, you have to go through this in order to get there. And oh no, nope, nope, no. Tennessee and I would not get along. You can move after I move to Florida. No, I think I'll stay here. Thank you very much. But vacation, I'm definitely thinking during retirement in a few more years, doing a month-long cruise would be really, really cool. So, and it's so I mean, it's really not that expensive, like 1,200 bucks plus a flight home. That's not bad if it's, everything included. You can go to like a whole slew of different countries. That's pretty cool. So, I'm not by the way, I'm not getting paid anything from cruise lines at all for this. I was just it came up in conversation and we were talking about it and yeah, I share everything that's going on. So it's been an item of conversation. I can't say contention because it's not really contentious. My husband and I don't really do contentious at this point in our marriage. We argue over stupid things like um oh god, we were like annoying, like little stupid stuff. Oh yeah, we went to see the shuttle launch. Which not at NASA, like we didn't go all the way over there. And it wasn't NASA anyway, it was SpaceX. But they're launching all of these shuttles and launching stuff like constantly. You can see it from our front yard. It's really cool. So I'm keeping up with it online as to when they're gonna have a launch, and I'll go out to the front yard. And because there's trees right there, I have to kind of walk down the street just like half a block and watch from there. Well, if you drive down about a mile to the 7-Eleven, that sounds so hick. Okay. But it's true. If you go down there, it was cow pastures and so it's like flat. So you can have the perfect view of the SpaceX launches and there's like this little place to park right there. So, and it's not just me because we went down there and there was like four other cars just parked waiting to watch the launch. Okay, it's like literally the perfect place. So we're watching the launch, and before we went, my husband was like, let's go down to the 7-Eleven, and I was like, no, it launches in like 9 minutes. It's T minus 9 minutes. We don't have time. And he's like, it's a mile down the road. We have time. I was like, okay, we'll go grab your keys. And he's like, okay, but you got to get your coat. And I was like, okay, it's in the trunk of my car. So he's like, okay. And I was like, hurry up, go get your keys. And he's like, okay, but you got to get your coat. It's in the trunk of my car. And he's like, okay. I was like, I don't have my keys on me. You got to get your keys. He's like, okay, I'm going in the house. Don't forget your coat. It's in the trunk of my car. And he's like, and I'm like, it's locked. And he's like, oh, well, you didn't say that. These are the kind of arguments we have. Because he's like super detailed. And I'm like, let's hurry up and get it done. It doesn't work very well. So he's telling me like 3 times my biggest pet peeve is having to repeat something. And somewhere in his history, he was taught that you should always repeat something to make sure that you're clarifying what's, for the communication. So it's basically like this constant thing where we're annoying each other. It's great. It's so fun. But yeah, so he went and got his keys, unclick the thing. I'm like, it's 6 minutes to launch. We're listening to it and watching everything. And he's literally like, you could walk there. I was like, I cannot do a 6-minute mile. Like, let's go. So, so we go down there, we watch it. We had plenty of time. But it was really, really cool. We love watching the launches. It's fun. My daughter, on the other hand, she couldn't care less. She's like, I've seen it so many times. It's like not a big deal. I was like, they're launching something into outer space. They're launching something they've created into outer. How can that not possibly be the coolest thing ever? And you can watch it happen. And it's on fire. And what if it explodes? I mean, I want to see it. I keep thinking there's going to be an explosion. Like, I want to see this stuff. But no, she's just like, man, I'd rather sit here and read a book. What? So weird. So weird. I don't know. I love watching launches. I think they're the coolest thing ever. My husband's always like, we should go over and watch it from Cape Canaveral. And I'm like, no. The second we do that, it'll get scrubbed. They'll abort the mission. We'll have driven over there and done all of that for absolutely no reason. I don't want to. If they abort the mission or it gets, maybe a boat shows up, if there's like a boat in the area, then they have to like scrub. They have to kill the launch and wait an additional time. And I mean, all this stuff just happened. Just watching the whole thing and watching it. They have it live on YouTube. It's fun. It really is fun. So you're like sitting there waiting to watch it and everything. I don't necessarily need to go to Cape Canaveral. I can literally see it from my front yard. I'm good, you know? But yeah, so one of these days we may have to go down there and watch the actual launch firsthand. But it's not like we're going to be that much closer anyway. I mean, I'm pretty sure they don't want you to feel the engines, but still, you should. That's funny. Mhm. You can see them all the time. You just sit there and watch. I mean, it's just cool. And it's kind of cool when they do the separation, like this part just kind of does this kind of loop de loop over in the sky and it's on fire. And it's just really cool. And then there's this other part. It's just neat. The whole thing is just really cool to watch all of it. But yeah, they do it so often. So often. I don't know. I just think it's cool. I would watch them every time if I could, but some of them are at like midnight. I don't, no, we're not doing midnight. I gotta sleep. Everybody's quiet now. You're too cute, Andrea. Thank you. I try. I don't know. It's so weird being in my office and like chatting. You guys want to see my office? I'll turn it, just flip around. There you go. This is my private office. You've seen the grand tour now. But yeah, this is where I hang out pretty much every day doing mounds upon mounds of paperwork and meeting with everybody under the sun. You can see how often my daughter is in here. She did some drawing of my desk on random paper. I guess that was the contents of my desk. I don't know. I know. I love my office. I love it. I mean, it goes far out and like other people's areas is out there, but this is my little cozy office. And yeah, people come in and chit chat and we hang out and it's cool. So it's a really good place to just kind of sit and talk. So I hate sitting at my desk and talking to somebody seems so very, I don't know, cold, I guess. So I didn't do that. I have chairs and a whole couch, and people come in, kick off their shoes, and like, talk about their goals and their plans. And I mean, it's just great. It's really great. I like it anyway. Or if they're just feeling themselves and they just are having a bad day, I have I always want to like yell and say, there is no crying in real estate, but that is total lie. They get very emotionally charged in real estate, the real estate agents, but um, we have some really, really great ones. If they weren't so passionate about their job and helping people and they get like so involved with it, they wouldn't be that great. But they are. So yeah, they're just awesome. If you ever get the chance to meet my agents, they are freaking amazing. Although I did misquote and say that every single one of my real estate agents have burst into tears or cried at some point in the career in my office. And Jeff, who is like 6'4" and former military, immediately says, "That's not true. I have not." And I was like, "You are correct." Like, if he starts crying, but I have seen him cry. He cried at his daughter's wedding recently. So it just wasn't in my office. So we're crying commercial insurance right now, too. I can imagine everybody in Florida with insurance is crying. It's a hot mess. That is for sure. It is just a mess. But no, we actually we've been doing a lot with Angelina Godfrey over at Farmers Insurance lately. She seems to be doing really good. So we like her. Um Gooseneck, I actually have to take them off my list because I don't know them anymore. They sold the company to somebody else or somebody bought them or whatever. So until I know the new people, I'm going to take them off my preferred list because I just don't know the new people. I mean, what if they're not as helpful and I'm recommending them? That would be so weird. So, yeah, if you make it to my list, that's awesome. But that's also like the people that get on my list, they don't give me any money. Like it's there is nothing. I get not once in a while they'll bring me a candy bar. Like that is it. Okay. And they do. They work with a lot of our customers and stuff. But I mean, we don't I'm basically doing a lot of advertisement and I offer these people up all the time. Like Deanna Chosewood over at Guaranteed Rate. You guys have gotten to know her. Um, Debbie Cowan over at Prime Lending. You guys have got to, I don't get anything from these people, but they have to guarantee that they're going to take care of my customers. Otherwise, they get taken off the list. So, yeah. But yeah, so so when we've been working with somebody and our customers really like that person, then we'll go ahead and add them to the list. But you can get taken off the list. Like if you sell and like now I don't know the new people, that's a whole different company. I don't know them. So yeah, I don't know. Or if you mess up, like if you get taken off the list, you're never going to get put back on the list. So no, because that means that there was a complaint or a couple of complaints. That's not cool. That's not cool. Like I understand you're not going to make everybody happy all the time, but not answering your phone or not returning phone calls or something, that means you're too busy. You don't need my customers. So not good. Right? It is. It's my reputation because you don't know these people. Y'all do not know these people. So it's important if I am speaking for them and then they let my customers down, it reflects on me. So again, and again, I'm not getting paid anything. Like all you have to do is take care of my customers. Okay. Take care of my people. So if you can do that, you get to be on the list. But we have a lot of people. You guys only see like, I don't know, like the home insurance. Okay, home insurance companies or survey companies or appraisal companies, maybe the well and septic inspection company. I mean, there's like those kind of lists. But we have property management and we have a lot of properties in property management, a couple hundred. So we have literally properties for, or we have like people for everything. We have so many people for so many different things. So, so I mean, anytime anybody calls me and they're like, "Hey, do you know a plumber? Do you know an electrician? Do you know a pest control company?" I'm like, "Yep, I got them." So I'm like, tell them that Great Expectations Realty sent you, and some of them are really cool because they'll give my customers discounts. So like Georgia Flooring Direct, I'm like always ask for Anthony and tell him you're with Great Expectations Realty and you get 10% off anything in the store. And it's already pretty discounted. So some of the hotels in the area, they actually have really good discounts for people that come into town to do business with us. So that was really cool. One of them is really, really cute. It's like walking distance. Like really, you can walk to this hotel. And it's like an old hotel that they rehabbed and made into these really cute suites, and it's all horse themed, and it's really, really nice. But you can get a suite for like $79 a night if you tell them you're with Great Expectations Realty. You have to call them. Don't try and do it online. It's a fiasco. But yeah, if you just call them and you're like, yeah, Great Expectation, $79 a night, that's nothing. So, I mean, I love it. I'm like, that is awesome. Please, please take care of my customers. And everybody that stayed there so far said it was really nice. So that's good. Spring Hill Suites will also give you a really good discount too. Same thing. Just call, talk to the manager, and just tell them you're there because of our channel and because of Great Expectations Realty, and they roll out the carpet to you and get you some good discounts. So I don't know. I always ask for discounts for you guys. Like, why not? What's the harm in asking? So I try. Glad we found you here. Aw, I wasn't hiding though, I promise. Like if you want to find me, you will. Um, um, I kind of went for quantity over quality. I just kind of flooded it. Um, it's not perfect, but it is there. So, yeah. Ugh. I wasn't sure if I was gonna do the live or if I was um going to go to Denellen. They have the short-term rental ordinance is being discussed tonight. So I really wanted to go to that, but I also try and be really consistent on my lives because if I'm not on here enough, then you're not going to expect to see me, and then I'm going to lose people viewing and stuff. And I didn't want to do that because I did miss one a little bit ago. So yeah. Stephen Nick says my wife, 1-year-old, and I are visiting her family in Newport Richey, excuse me, at the end of June, and we'll be staying overnight in Ocala to scope out the area as potential move. Any suggestions on what to do? Yeah, come and have coffee with me. We could chat. I have this massive map. It's actually in one of my videos. Um, but we just kind of talk about like what you're looking for exactly. And I can show you some subdivisions or neighborhoods. I mean, we could do that ahead of time if you want. It sounds like the purpose of your visit is literally just to check out the city. So it'd be mostly narrowing it down to a quadrant. So yeah, we can probably do that over the phone or like on the Calendly or whatever, and we do a Zoom. But yeah, when you come in, if you want to just, have coffee, look at the map and chit chat, we can do that too. Um, Other than that, if you're looking for fun stuff to do in Ocala, there are so many things to do. It's insane. 1-year-old, I'd probably go to the glass bottom boats over at Silver Springs. That's a pretty good thing to do with a 1-year-old because they can kind of move around and stuff. It's not as like, and the place to walk around is absolutely beautiful. If you're doing it in June, it's going to be hot. So I would do it in the morning. But yeah, going to Silver Springs, it's like $2 to get in, and I think it's like $10 for a ticket to go on one of the glass bottom boats. But it's really cool because you can go around. They go all over in the springs, and you look at the bottom, and so you can literally see like 60 feet down, and you can literally see the grains of sand moving on the bottom of the water at 60 feet down. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. But it's really, really beautiful. So I would go and do that. Um, Other than that, one is a little too young for some of the other stuff. Um, like, tubing and kayaking and stuff. That'd be a little difficult. So maybe going to the springs, Silver Springs, and then out in the Ocala National Forest is some really cool places to, playgrounds and stuff at the springs. I would probably go to Juniper Springs if I were going to go and do that. I would probably go to Juniper Springs. But it just depends on what you guys want to do. You could go walk around at the World Equestrian Center. That's totally free and it's absolutely breathtakingly beautiful out there. It is huge though. So either rent a golf cart or bring your walking shoes because you're going to be walking a while. But yeah, I would say that. I mean, different suggestions for different age groups, but for a couple with a 1-year-old, I would definitely say glass bottom boats at Silver Springs, the World Equestrian Center, and if you have time, Juniper Springs. Probably in that order, actually. Yeah. Yeah, and if you're going to be staying over here overnight, make sure you get the discounts. But yeah, if you want to come in and chit chat, just let me know date and time. Please, 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 please. Any of you guys that are considering coming down here for a visit and you guys want to hang out and talk or whatever, that doesn't mean I'm going to go and try and sell you a house. You don't the price for admission is not to purchase a house. But if you do want to come in and talk and stuff, let me know ahead of time. So I want to make sure that I'm here. There's a lot of stuff that I do outside of the office. There's mounds of paperwork and some stuff. I get to go do some stuff outside. There's actually a whole different website that I was working on, and it's for the teaching engagements and stuff like that that I do as a speaker. So it's fun. But Some of it is for like community awareness stuff. Some of it is for like corporations to talk to them about like social media and how they should be doing that for their business instead of, paying astronomical amounts to get very bad results. So, and like how to do social media, some of them, they're not doing it right. It's like, they're just like, I don't know, advertising. And that's not what you do with social media. It is by all means social. So, get to know people. So, like Smiley One on here, I have no idea what your first name and last name is in real life, but I know when I see Smiley One, I know that person. Like, it's just, you've been on here many times. So, I mean, well, Stephen Nicks obviously has his name in there, but normally it's by their, yeah, anyway, by their code names. But anyway, no, just getting to know the people that you're talking to and understanding, what they need and learning it's not about you, that's huge. So I try and get that across to people. So I do other things besides being here. Like tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to be taking my daughter to college orientation. Ah, so weird. And probably taking her for her driving permit pretty soon too. So, not in here all the time. I am here a lot, but not all the time. So just let me know. So if you are coming in, I did have somebody that was upset because they came in and I didn't know they were coming in and we didn't have anybody there because even the floor time person had gone out with a previous person. So there was like nobody there and it was Grand Central Station and it was just a bad experience and I don't want that for anybody. So just let me know ahead of time and I will make sure that I'm here for you. Okay. So I will work around it. Yes. Oh, so I was having a hard time with my DNS servers on the other website, but it's getting there. It is live now. It's just not linked up to everything, so it's not finished. I mean, you can look at it. It's a work in progress. Let me see. Ocala. Hold on. I gotta remember what it is now. Ocala. Okay, so ocalavacationhomes.com. Um, so yeah, you can see it's definitely a work in progress. Uh, so far, we've got everything except the tabs for the independent properties. Take the Reigns Oasis is pretty done, but the Serenity at Rainbow Springs, the historic Denellen 2-bedroom at Rainbow River, and the Brick City apartment. Those three I'm still working on, so they're a work in progress. But if you want to just hold on to the website, it should be completed by the end of this week, and we are adding another one to that slew of properties. So each property has a YouTube video done on it, and it has the calendar link to show when that particular unit is available or not. So that information is helpful. But yeah, it's been my little work in progress. You wouldn't have, oh my God, the amount of stuff that I had to do to get that thing to behave was so crazy. But yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. Aw, thank you, Smiley. I appreciate it. There are hotels there, right? Yes. There are absolutely hotels here. In fact, we may go ahead and put the hotel links on there. I don't know. I got to think about that one because I don't want anybody to think that we're associated with the hotels. Like again, I don't make any money from the hotels at all. Okay. They haven't even given me a candy bar. So like, um, but if I put them on our website, then I probably just need to make sure everybody understood that I'm not affiliated business wise with them, but they do give our customers a discount, which I appreciate very, very much. So yeah, I might I don't know, add extra advertising for them or something. We'll see. I don't mind a work work in progress. Okay, that's good. Because yeah, we got it functioning properly on Friday, and I think Friday night I worked and worked and worked and worked on it and was just so thrilled. Um, so we were able to get everything actually finally flowing correctly. So now it's like super easy. It's just putting, the correct pictures on the correct page and making sure we have the descriptions on, like super easy stuff at this point. So of course it's the last thing to do. But yeah, so take the reins. I think all of that is pretty good. I wasn't happy with the quality of pictures that I had on that one, so those will get redone. But again, I'm just a perfectionist. That's just yeah. So, but feel free to check out that. So, but yeah, it's building websites is not my forte. It's just something that I've seen a need to do for my business, because I just can't. I mean, I have a lot of offers for people that are like, yeah, I'll build a website for you for like 3 grand, and I'm like, I think I can do it. So- I'm so cheap. It's pathetic. It really is. I am just so cheap because for me, excuse me, that's like things that I could be getting for my agents or new tools or giving a raise to one of our employees or something like that. So 3,000 for a website when I know I can do it, it's like, ugh, brutal. Brutal. Yeah, no, it is. It's expensive. For our main company website, that one's about to get revamped, and that one needs an IDX server, which is linking it from straight into the MLS, so you can actually do your own manual searches into the MLS. That is a little more complicated, so I probably will have to hire somebody to do that portion of of the websites. But I mean, a simple one like my personal website, no, that's super easy. So unfortunately, my yeah, like I said, there was some kind of snag with the DNS servers on the short term rental, and it took me forever to get it to talk to each other. So it was being a pain. It's rare that that happens, but once in a while, something gets stuck in the coding, and I don't code. Um, I do use Chat GBT a lot though. I'm like, hey, can you give me an embed code for this? And it's just like, phoom, there you go. Okay, cool. Copy, paste, done. That thing is just crazy good. I don't know if you've seen that thing, but wow. Oh, sure, of course. The vacation home one? Yeah, I can absolutely do that. Again, work in progress. So if it looks awful, just give it until the end of the week. You guys get to see it here first. But yeah, it will all be linked back and forth and then some with our other websites and stuff. It's already a little bit like it's got the direct feed into our long term rentals, our annual rentals, whatever you want to call them. We don't really have any available right now. We actually have more short term availability than we have long term availability. That will be changing soon. We got more properties coming in. So we actually do have some properties that we'll be able to rent out, some 3 bedrooms and some 2 bedrooms coming up. So pretty excited about that. Not gonna lie, it's crazy. And then like there's one owner that has a whole slew of houses that are vacant. We're like, can we please manage those for you? And he's like, well, I'm not sure because, you're going to have them vacant and turn. And I'm like, we have so many people that could rent those from you. Like right now, we have no vacancies. That's, they're not going to sit vacant. They're not. It's like, give me 2 weeks. They will all be gone. But to each their own, whatever. Any news on where Bucky's is being built? Absolutely. So it is going where the new highway entrance exit ramp is going to go, which I thought was going to be like a cloverleaf pattern, but it's actually not. I-75 decided not to go with that pattern. They're going to do more like I-7, the 200 entrance exit. Anyway, so if you are in Ocala, I don't know how familiar you guys are with Ocala, but if you are at the southern portion of Marion County. So there's just past Marion County is like Wildwood and the Turnpike, so which goes over to like Orlando or Tampa, wherever you want to go. Anyway, so there's the Turnpike entrance, that's Wildwood, and then there is Marion Oaks, Bellevue. So if you go take that, you go left to Marion Oaks and right to Bellevue, and then about 10 minutes up the road, then you're going to get three exits really quickly. There's 200, which is the busiest exit entrance in Marion County, probably. That's Highway 200. That's where all of the restaurants and that's where the CF, the college is. It's where our office is. I could walk out of my office, go about half a block, and see I-75. It's where most of the Starbucks are in town, right on 200, Barnes and Noble, the mall, the indoor mall, the outdoor mall. It's all on 200. So it's a very busy road. Past that, there's going to be Highway 40, which is also called Silver Springs Boulevard. And it's like immediately after 200. There's 40. And then Highway 27, which I always think of as 14th Avenue because that's what I know it as, but whatever. It has like 6 different names, but it's Highway 27. After that, you're going to see some buildings on your right-hand side. That's Chewy, FedEx. It's distribution centers, big, huge distribution centers. There's Amazon, AutoZone, I don't know, a whole slew of them. Right after those buildings is where the Buc-ee's is going to go. Right now, there is nothing but cows right there. Okay, it's a farm. It's a very nice farm. It's been there for a very long time. They're doing eminent domain because the highway entrance exit is going right there. And then after that exit, a few more miles up the road is the exit 326. So in a nutshell, that's where it's going. So Buc-ee's is going where the cows are, just north of the distribution centers. FedEx, AutoZone, Chewy's, Amazon, all of that right there. It's just past that. And I don't know what is going past that, but Buc-ee's did already get the zoning approved for the change in zoning to go from agriculture to whatever you need for a gas station. You can tell I don't do a lot of gas stations. I don't know what that zone, commercial, probably different from just regular commercial for a gas station. I don't know. Anyway, but they've already approved the zoning, so it is definitely going there. They've already created the LLC for it. The reason it's going to take a while is because Buc-ee's doesn't need or want to be open until that highway entrance and exit exists. Because there's no real road there right now. Like if there is a road, it's a really, really, really small one. They want the highway entrance and exit. That highway entrance and exit on the one side is going to be Buc-ee's, and on the other side, so if you get off, go to Buc-ee's, and then go down the road, that's where the World Equestrian Center is. So it's going to be yet another direct road over to the World Equestrian Center. So that's pretty cool. I hope that explains. Oh no, the poor cows. They'll be fine. They're getting moved. Moved. Oh, sorry. No. No, the family that has owned that farm for 3 generations is not thrilled. But yeah, it's the Black Angus farm right there. Anyway, but yeah, they're not thrilled with it. I was hoping that only a portion of the farm was going, but no, they're, from what I understand, they are selling the whole thing. And Buc-ee's and I-75 are probably going to pay very well for that land. So the cows will be very happy. They will have lots of money, I'm sure. But yeah, it's not a question. They need another exit and entrance ramp. So somebody somewhere has to move on out. But when they put in highways, they have to do something, because they don't own that land. But if you're looking for a very good investment in Marion County right now, there is this little stretch of road with nothing, cow pastures on either side. And that would probably be a very good place to put your money right now because it's about to go whew, really big with the Buckies and with, going from cows to Buckies. That's a huge, huge difference in the scenery. So when you see something like that, you definitely know that there's going to be a lot of changes in the very, 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 very near future. And that is the huge, big thing with real estate. It's all about location, location, location. So when you can see what's going to come and what's going to happen, you can make some very interesting investment um, in that. I don't know. But yeah, between the World Equestrian Center and Bucky's, there's going to be a lot of tourism on that side of town. Yeah. And also, if you go World Equestrian Center to, let's see, to the west, Bucky's immediately to the east. But if you continue going east, that's where Silver Springs is and the glass bottom boats. So I'm thinking that's going to be like the tourism row right there. It's just right there on that road. I do the video drives. That's funny. Oh, you guys are probably looking at my horrible website that is not quite done yet. Tristan's gonna be so mad. Tristan is our person that is in charge of our short-term rentals. She's so sweet. She is so amazing. And we decided to step away from Airbnb and VRBO. Um, you're welcome. Um, not only because they're very expensive for our customers, not only for the owners, but also for the tenants coming in. They've got some crazy fees that they put on those. And so we were like, you know what? We have so many people that request short-term rentals, and then we're forced to send them over to Airbnb or VRBO. And if we just do a website and have some kind of program in the back, which again, we had to link all of that up. So like that calendar view where it has immediate, like shows you exactly what's available and what's not, that's linked up to our Airbnb and our VR. So if somebody, goes ahead and does a reservation, or if they do it manually, like if Tristan goes in, it automatically updates to our website. I'm not even joking. It was a little complicated. We got the hard part done. Okay, now it's just throw some pictures up there and we're golden. And then Tristan, she went and did videos. You'll see her in the videos on each of the properties. She goes and does. She has a YouTube video on each one, and so that was cool. But she's just such a sweet person, and man, the Airbnb and VRBOs are just kicking her butt. When we rent out the properties on short-term basis, we have an amazing experience. Like not any real issues. They'll rent it for a month, 2 months, something like that. Maybe they're waiting for their house to be constructed or whatever. Great experience. When we rent it through those, the stories I can tell of what a lot of people have put this woman through. Most recently, we had somebody rent, this was literally last week. We had somebody rent our least expensive unit. It's $55 a night. Okay. And it's a little 1 bedroom, has washer, dryer, full kitchen. It's a little 1 bedroom duplex. And they rented it for 2 weeks. They went in, they crawled on top of the countertops to take pictures of the top of the like I wouldn't go, but it wasn't like inside of the cabinets and stuff. It was on top. They literally had to be standing on the countertops to get the picture of, like, if you come to my house is professionally cleaned every other week. Okay. I clean it once a week. The cleaning lady cleans it once a week. It's sanitary. Okay. If you took pictures at the top of my cabinets in my house, I would probably be horrified. I don't know what's up there. I don't want to know what's up there. I don't know. So that was and then they posted it to Airbnb and said that the place was filthy. And it was like, what? And they also took pictures. They literally like opened up the cabinet for the closet for the air conditioner, like the air conditioner handler, and stuck their camera behind the air conditioning unit and took pictures behind. Why would you need pictures behind an air conditioner? Like, if you wanna look at the filter gets replaced every 30 days. The unit itself, like, take a but behind I don't know what's behind my air conditioning unit. I have I don't wanna know, probably. But it was just bizarre, bizarre stuff. But yeah, they said that they had to not do their they weren't paying for that night and they weren't renting it for 2 weeks because it was dirty on the top of the like what? Another guy broke a glass top stove. I don't know what he was doing on the glass top stove to break it. He was not the one. I would say if he was the one that like stood on top of the cabinet to take pictures on top of the cabinets, maybe that's what it was and he stepped on it, but he wasn't one of those. I don't know what he did. But yeah, he broke a glass top stove. I mean, we have glass tops in most of our rentals, so I don't know, they don't break very easy. I know it seems like they should because they're glass, but they really don't. I mean, you really have to do something to break those. So I don't know what he did. I don't know if he was like sitting on it or if he like slammed something, dropped something. I have no idea how he did that. So like the weird stuff that happens with Airbnbs and VRBOs, we're like, this ain't worth it. Okay. This is insane. And then we had one person like, a person needs a hobby, right? I agree. Like, what? Like, if it was like dirty, like if it was dirty sheets, especially. I mean, we wash everything. Like everything's white. The comforter is white. The towels are white because we bleach the bejesus out of them every single time. Like we want everything to be sanitary and clean and whatever. So, if they were like, oh, there was like a dirty bathtub or a dirty, something like that. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. But the stuff they took pictures on was just so bizarre. And they were like, and then Airbnb actually blocked as they were investigating. They literally turned off. We could not only could we not recoup the money from the 2 weeks that person had booked it and then bailed, but we also could not get any new reservations on it until Airbnb got done investigating. We're like, you know what? Airbnb, you can just, yeah, no. So yeah, we were just not thrilled with it. I was like, look at the pictures. Like, what? Like, did you have a drone in there? Like, what were you doing? It's so bizarre. So bizarre. All the bizarre stuff happens from Airbnb. So we're just like, we're just gonna like rent them out ourselves independently. But I think a lot of people are doing that. Like more and more people are kind of stepping away from that because it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So our owners pay more, our tenants pay more. We have crazy wacky stuff that happens, and it's just I don't know. It's just not worth it. It's just really not worth it. So we've kind of been stepping back away from that, and that's why we started this whole process about a month or two back to try and actually have people just go through our website and just do it direct booking. Because yeah, it's just it's too crazy. It's too crazy. There's stuff we have people like, oh yeah, I can't wait to do an Airbnb. It's going to be passive income. Let me tell you right now, out of all of the rentals I've ever done, Airbnb is the least passive of all income streams. Of all of them. You will need to have it as a part-time job, okay? Because it is absolute insanity. Okay. Like, just no. Passive income. No, that is not. Oh, goodness. I'm looking at it. Good evening from Fort Lauderdale. Good evening. Is the cost on here somewhere, Andrea? It just depends on if how long you're gonna rent it for. So no, it's got Tristan's email. She is super, super awesome about communicating. Although, maybe don't do it at 2 a.m. Those people that took the pictures on the top of Yeah, they texted, Tristan and called her at 2 o'clock in the morning, to let her know that there was dirt on top of the cabinets, like, the upper cabinets, like, I yeah, it was major emergency. Everything was spotless, but up anyway, so yeah, no, but if you're gonna rent it for like 2 days, that's gonna be a different rate than if you're renting it for a month, or if you're renting it for 3 months, it's gonna be different from a month. So it's really just depends, what how long you're gonna be renting it for. So and also the time frame. Like if you're wanting the one that's close to the Rainbow River, right at the busiest part of the year when everybody wants to go on the Rainbow River, it's gonna be a little bit more expensive than other times of the year. So yeah, but just check with Tristan. Literally just be like, "Hey, I'm interested in this one. Here's the dates or here's how long I think I want it." And she'll be like, "Here's the amount." She's awesome with it. Right? That's what I honestly, I would be like, "Okay, no." They had already by 7 o'clock the next morning, they had already like they must have stayed up all night taking the pictures and putting it. The only thing we can think with that one that makes any form of logical sense is they couldn't do the 2-week stay for whatever reason, and they didn't wanna get penalized, so they were looking for a reason, to get out of it without getting penalized. But unfortunately, the way they did it and what they did penalized us and the owner severely, like severely. So, I mean, it was bad. So we're like, okay, and we don't want to lose our super host status either. So that's not good. Um, yeah, she's so sweet though. I mean, she still wants to like do welcome baskets and make sure you have snacks when you check in. I mean, she's so caring. She's so kind. But yeah, some of these people are just wearing her out. so so I'm like, we're just gonna go ahead and do this other thing. But yeah, we're working on being able to do like the amount per night. But it's definitely gonna be 2-night minimum. That's what we have on the other ones as well. But again, we want to make sure people understand that if they're going for a longer period of time, it's going to be less expensive. So, there's that. Mm. But yeah, we did not have the opportunity um, to fix it or make it right. They did not want that. They wanted to get out of the 2-week stay. So it was done before she even woke up in the morning. So yeah, kind of weird. Really weird one. But yeah, I mean, that's not the only crazy thing. If that were the only crazy thing, we would not be as far ahead as we are with the direct booking. it's like, okay, we need to get off this roller coaster because this is some craziness. But yeah, it's insane. So we're just doing direct booking at this point, or we're going in that direction, and hopefully it'll be a better I think it'll be better for everybody all the way around. Because, like I said, we've not really we've been doing some direct booking already, just because we'll have somebody going, I need it for 3 months. Well, we're not going to put you through Airbnb for that if you never even like if you come to us directly from like our YouTube channel or something like that. Why would we make you go through Airbnb? Because it's not like you found it through them. So why would we make you pay the fees for it? We want to try and save you guys money as much as we can. Yeah, I think that's what happened. I just don't know why they booked 2 weeks and then I don't know. It just didn't. The only thing I could think is they were thinking they were going to have 2 weeks and they came just to try and get out of their 2 weeks without losing any money or whatever. And then technically, because they didn't technically stay there, they put that they never stayed there, which they did that one night. We couldn't even give them a bad review. So I was like, man, give them a bad review and post the pictures of what they took. I have no problem with those pictures. Like it was crazy with a capital C. So we're like, because that we've got literally nothing to hide. There was dust on top of the cabinets in the kitchen. Why were you standing on the cabinets and the countertops? Anyway, like what? But yeah, so they didn't leave us a review. We couldn't leave them a review, which kind of was annoying, but they are somebody else's problem now. So I don't know. Yeah, they definitely have done that before. And it definitely sounds like they planned it. That's what I was thinking too, because it was beyond weird. Um, so yeah, I mean, if it had been like the sheets or the towels or the floors or something in the bathroom or something like that, I could relate. I could totally understand that. I'd be like, oh my god, that's embarrassing. Let's get a different cleaning lady. But it wasn't. It wasn't anything like that. It was like white glove treatment to the extreme. Because even white glove treatment, I don't think they go above I mean, do you guys check that area at your house or in hotels? Since I've never thought to get up on top of a countertop at like a hotel or an Airbnb. Like I do every my husband thinks I'm nuts, but I will not stay in a hotel or an Airbnb until I've done a bed bug check. I literally nobody is allowed in my family to bring anything inside the hotel room until I've checked for yeah, I have to. I'm sure I will never find them. I've not found them yet, and it's been years and years. Excuse me. I do not want to take home anybody else's creepy crawlies. I don't want to do it. I have a little bit of a phobia about that. So yeah, I absolutely check every single time. Nobody can come in and set their luggage down until I've checked with that because I don't want to deal with that at my house. So I do a check every single time. The kids, my husband, they all know I'm gonna go in there and check. But I've never gotten on top of a countertop to check the cabinets up. I don't even care what's up there, unless there's bed bugs. That would bother me, but there it wasn't that. It was just so weird, so weird. I have it at my house, but I never thought to do it anywhere else. I mean, yeah, when you're like doing like a deep cleaning or something, like a spring cleaning, that's definitely one of the areas that you deep clean. But I'm gonna think I only do that maybe once a year, once every 2 years. It's not a very often thing. So in between that time, if you got it at the 6 month or 9 month, you're gonna find some dust. There's not a question. There's gonna be some dust up there. Um, Not enough to have like I mean, not we're not talking that kind of dust, but there's gonna be some dust and grime up there. There's no way to avoid it. I mean, you cook and the oil and stuff goes you're gonna have it. But I don't I mean, it's not like a weekly thing. Good God. I can't even imagine. Can you imagine what their house looks like if they're that clean? I would be so uncomfortable with somebody's house. Like, does it make you guys uncomfortable when you go to somebody's house and it is like you could eat off the floors and like lick a doorknob and it's like that sanitary and clean? It freaks me out. Like, I'm always scared I'm gonna put like a smudge on something. Like like, I wanna be comfortable. Like, even my office, it's clean, it's sanitary, but it's also lived in, the pillows aren't perfect and, they're just kind of thrown around, and I will tell you that there is a small little folded blanket over to the side because my daughter sometimes comes in before school or after school, and she'll take a nap on the couch, and that's her little blanket to cover. So it's not perfect. But I have that for her. That kid has probably spent more hours in this office or growing up in my real estate career. Yeah, she's probably been in the real estate office more than some agents. So she's just, she could explain a 1031 exchange to you. Crazy. Right, you do the bed bug check too? Oh, good, it's not just me. Okay, just checking because I have for literally for years. As soon as I heard about these bugs and how hard it was to get rid of them and that they can hide in the craziest places but you can easily check for them. Oh, sign me up for that. I always do the check, always, because I don't want them coming home with me. Mm-mm. And I did ask it was my pest control guy who I've known for forever and a day. He's the one that told me about that. He's like, "Oh yeah, anytime I go to a hotel, I check." And I was like, "Have you ever found them?" He's like, "In all the years, one time. I did one time." And I was like, "That was it for me." I was like, "Once is enough. No." So yeah, I've never found them. I've never found them, but I've always checked without fail. It's not a question. Not fun. Yeah. I tried to kind of live that way, and then family kept giving me a dose of reality. I told I told my husband that we will have nice things and everything will be perfectly cleaned and organized when we no longer have children or a dog or anything else. So, I'm not buying super expensive furniture. It is what it is. And we will have great things for a few years until we have grandkids. And then it's all going to get tore up again. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm okay with it. But I don't know. Crazy stuff. We got some crazy stuff tonight. I sprayed alcohol around the base of the mattress. Does that work? I mean, I guess. I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't go to that. I just check it. I just check it. And now cheers. Everybody's like sitting here cringing, going, ew, why? Why are you talking about this? But it's just a thing. I gotta do the check. Peppermint oil? Hmm. I did not know. I'm sorry. I just do it at hotels. I do a quick check on any of the furnishing, the bed. And if there's absolutely no sign of them, I'm golden because I don't ever want to take them home. I don't want to do it. But yeah, I actually have heard that you can get them from like just even brand new clothing stores. So like if you go to like Kohl's or Walmart or anything like that, um, hugely recommended. If you do not wash your clothes as soon as you purchase them, please, 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 please wash your clothes. Please. It is for many, 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 many reasons. But like don't just yeah, we're itching now. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But no, it's important. Like definitely wash your clothes. Okay. I'm just gonna leave that out there. Okay. Um, but yeah, my pest control guy, huge shout out to Tyndale. Tyndale Pest Control is freaking amazing. They do all my house, they do our offices, all of that. Um, they're just awesome. With Florida, we have all sorts of bugs outside. They can live their lives outside. I don't mind. They're out there. But if they come inside where I live, they're gonna die. That's that's the rule. Okay, they can live their life out there. If I go out and visit them, I get what I get. It is what it is. But they cannot live in the house with me. We don't do bugs. So yeah, Tyndale Pest Control makes sure that the bugs never, never, never come in my house, live in my house. They don't even visit my house. And my husband is pretty much allergic to everything. Like you even say the word mosquito, and like if I get a mosquito bite, it's like a little red bump. It's a little itchy. Hit it with some Windex, you're good to go. That is totally the truth. Him, no, he will have like welts. It is insane what happens to him. Anything that bites him and he is to there was this caterpillar. There is a caterpillar around March, late March, early April. Every year it's like this white moth. I don't know. But it has this little caterpillar. We get them all over the place. They live in oak trees and they fall out of the oak tree and they crawl up to the side of the house or whatever and they make their little cocoon and then they become moths and they go away. But the caterpillar stage, if you get one of those, they kind of like it's like they're fiberglass or they sting you. So it's not pleasant. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not pleasant. And so yeah, I got one of them on me. I was like, wow, that's annoying, and flick it off and okay, whatever, move on with life. It was like a little bit of a red mark for maybe an hour. My husband, on the other hand, we were at a function where we were doing an outdoor blueberry. That was what it was. It was the blueberry festival, and we had a tent out, and of course they put us underneath this big, huge oak tree at that time of year. And so a couple of the little caterpillars, which are white, got into our tent thing, which was also white. We didn't even see them. Well, one dropped down the back of his shirt. Um, 3 weeks. 3 weeks he had marks on him. I mean, I was like, what? And I mean, he immediately got it out. He's like, there's something on me. I don't even know if it went in his shirt or just on the back of his shirt. But 3 weeks he had these horrible red, almost bruises on him. I was like, good God. So we don't keep bugs around him either. Like he can't handle, like he doesn't even visit them outside. He cannot live with them. So like any kind of fire ants or anything like that, we have to treat our yard because bad things happen with fire ants. So anything like that, bees, whatever, he's going to be, sucking down Benadryl like no tomorrow. So not to the EpiPen stage, but it's pretty bad. So we just don't do bugs. But Tyndale has been awesome for years and years. They have educated us so much about that stuff. So they've just been absolutely amazing. If you guys want a really great pest control company, just call them. They're really great. We're all itching. Question: do you have any sinkholes in Ocala? I personally do not. But yes, there are sinkholes in Ocala. We have over 1,000 artesian springs in this area. And where you have artesian springs, you're going to have sinkholes, especially so because it's all that limestone and sand, and that it's not a great mixture. But yeah, with the sand and the limestone and a lime rock, whatever, yeah, you'll have sinkholes. Where they are, where they're going to be, nobody knows. They can be anywhere. Excuse me. But sinkhole damage to a house is actually incredibly rare. There was a big, huge sinkhole fraud, basically, back when the market changed and everybody was underwater on their mortgage. They claimed sinkhole damage. So if you actually check into how many houses actually had an actual sinkhole versus how many actually got covered for sinkhole remediation or sinkhole damage, yeah. So it was about 5 out of every 5,000 claims were actual sinkholes. But because of the way the insurance policies were written at that time, the insurance companies really couldn't get out of it. They can now. You have to have some catastrophic damage. That's not what we're talking about. They had like a crack in the tile and the entire house was covered. The mortgage was paid off. So there's a reason insurance companies don't like Florida, because there was a lot of fraud. So, but yeah, that's why there's like a whole bunch of the sinkholes, and it's really hard to figure out exactly where the sinkholes really are versus what was reported, because again, during 2008 to about 2012, thousands and thousands of claims for sinkholes were made, and all that information was logged, and all of that money was paid out, and all of our maps showed freaking sinkholes like crazy. Dude, yes, there are sinkholes. Yes, they can happen anywhere. Do we have that many? No, freaking Florida has not fallen in on it. But we can't say like what was fake and what was real. So we just have to take it all as real. So we do. If you have a house that ever had a sinkhole claim, not a sinkhole, a claim made on it, then it's basically got a black mark forever. Even if you have a company come out and say we've done ground penetrating radar, there is no sinkhole. It is perfectly sound. It does not matter. You will never get that claim off of public records. It's there for everybody to see. And it not only affects that property, but every property that's adjacent to that one, you have to disclose it to the buyer that your house is adjacent to a property that had sinkhole damage. It's It's crazy. And not just the house, if it's anywhere in the yard, and we're not talking like big, massive, catastrophic, we're talking like a ground depression. Yep. You have to disclose it. Florida law. You have to disclose it. If you know about it, you have to disclose it. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. Makes sense. My family and I are moving to Ocala from Northern Kentucky. Welcome, Tiffany. Welcome home. Did you ever sell a house that had that occur? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, we're looking for jobs now. Whew, check on Indeed. There are so many jobs. Oh, there are so many jobs. It's ridiculously crazy how many jobs are available right now. But yes, I have sold sinkhole houses several times. Sometimes it's just the driveway maybe had an issue. But you pretty much just write off 100. I mean, it can get a remediation from the company, doesn't from the insurance company or whatever, doesn't matter. You basically have to write off the house maybe $100,000 immediately. You basically practically give away the house. But if it has catastrophic damage to it, like a serious, like actual sinkhole, you're going to get an insurance claim. You're going to have the whole house covered. And then you take that money and then you sell the house on top of that. Normally you make out pretty good, actually. So, and that's unfortunately why there's so many sinkhole claims, because that's what happened back in the day. Because they were supposed to pay off the mortgage with that money and they didn't. And then the house went into foreclosure. And then it also had a sinkhole on it. So it was just loads of fun, loads of fun. But yeah, there's actually a lot of investors that actually purchase houses for sinkhole damage. I don't think we have any in property management right now that was ever a sinkhole remediation done or anything like that on it. Um, I don't know. I don't think I would really even have an issue with it, especially if there was a remediation done. They basically come in and pour mass quantities of concrete into the ground. I mean, that thing ain't budging. It's just not moving. So I don't know. I don't really think I would have an issue with it. Would I buy one? Would I live in one? Yeah, I would definitely live in one. Um, would I, I don't know if I would buy one as an investment property, but I don't know. I don't know. Hey, if the deal is good enough, I'll buy it. I mean, if you see a house that's super, super, super cheap and you're like, that sounds too good to be true, it's probably because it's got a sinkhole remediation or some kind of claim or something done on it. What's crazy is the ones that are on like horse farms. That's so sad. Because it's the whole property. Doesn't matter if it's not the house. They'll have a sinkhole somewhere on 20 acres of land, and it has now got the black mark on it. It is it's got a sinkhole. So even if it's like way out in cow pasture number 16, doesn't matter. That property has a sinkhole. So yeah, kind of fun. Sinkholes are interesting. I find them interesting. We do have more open up after like a lot of rain. Like if you have a hurricane come through, we're not going to get the crazy winds so much. But if we have a hurricane just sit right on top of us and just rain for like a week straight, that water, so you've got like the rocks are like this, and the water pushes and pushes and pushes, and it just kind of adds weight to those massive rocks and it tips, and that's why you have a sinkhole. So when that tips down and all the water and the sand go down into the aquifer or whatever, that is going to open up a hole in the above ground. So that's why you have that hole come up. So when we have a large quantity of rain, huge quantity of rain, that's where you have that issue. So I don't know. It's interesting. It has to be a lot of rain though. Bye, Smiley. I think I took his poor ear off. Do you see builders accepting offers less than listings? Yes. It depends on the situation though. It really, really, really does. Normally they do that and you're never going to see it advertised. Normally that's a deal where you have to call up the guy, the salesperson, and find out what contracts didn't go through. So sometimes they will have a contract on a house for like 3 months, and then maybe the buyer loses his job or something like that. Like something catastrophic happens, and or the buyer is like, I can't move to Florida. I didn't get the job, like whatever reason. Um, they no longer can purchase the home. Well, now the house is going to be all finished and it's just going to be sitting there, and builders don't like that. And they thought it was sold. All of their records and all of their budget and everything is based off that being sold. They will sell that at less. Also, most likely they've got maybe $20,000 from the buyer that walked. So that money changes things significantly. They can reduce the amount for that house considerably to get it sold. So those deals, those canceled contracts, those are the ones you want to look for. And those you'll get a better deal on, especially with the larger builders. Hope that answers that question. All right. Well, I have been on here for way long time. So I'm actually going to be out with Smiley. Not really like out, both of us, but I'm going to be done for tonight. You guys have an awesome night. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me in my office instead of the media room tonight. But like I said, we're doing some remodeling in there. Not anything that you're really going to get to see. It's just the lighting and the sound more so than anything. It's going to be a better thing overall, but yeah, we're working on that. So you are so welcome. All right, but every Monday night, 6 p.m., this is where I'm at. So I am on YouTube live every Monday at 6 p.m. For sure, between 6 and 7. Sometimes it goes a little longer, like it did tonight. But if you want to join me again, I will see you guys next week. Have a good night. Bye, all.